as we usually do. Welcome to Love Language and the lovely Anne-Marie. How you doing, Anne-Marie?
I'm doing really well.
Well, we are joined, well, of course I'm Chase, but we are joined not only by Addae from the Crow's Nest, but we have another stranger in our house.
A welcome guest.
A welcome guest. A welcome guest who's actually usually conducting his own train ride. John Durrant from the train. Welcome, John.
Hello and welcome, thank you.
We love having guests on the show, don't we?
We do.
Because it's like they add a particular element to the show, you know, bit of spontaneity and everything like that. But I mean, like what we were talking about when we were talking about topics today, right? We're going to go a little bit cosmic because Anne-Marie loves looking at the Zodiac and the signs, and we got something coming up, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. But because somebody's dead curious to know his fate.
Uh-huh.
You know, he couldn't wait to see you pull out some magic dice, thinking that he was in Hogwarts or something, you know, or playing Dungeons and Dragons. But he said, "I will do this live." Go ahead, Daddy. What do you tell him? Well, first of all, tell everybody what those dice are, man.
So these dice are astrology dice and numerology dice. So it looks at the planets and it looks at the different signs. So we all know our sun signs: Capricorn, Scorpio, Cancer, etc. But we have planets as well that influence how we feel. Mm-hmm. And numerology is just to add a bit of flavour to that as well, because the numbers can mean something.
Yeah.
So you can ask a question even.
I know how this works.
Okay.
It was my birthday last week, so I wanted to get energy.
Happy birthday.
To you.
No, dude.
Yeah. I've always been curious. So I had an ex who used to do the tarot and stuff like that, and I don't know if I believe in it, but it's good to hear something, and I'm curious.
Ask
but these
a
three
question
pieces,
then.
I don't know.
Well, you don't have to say
I don't need to
out
ask a
loud.
question. Okay.
Well, what's the answer going to be if you don't need to answer questions?
You can just ask it to you.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's Mars.
Mars.
Then I'm from Mars, that's good.
And number 5, what star sign are you?
I'm Cancer.
Oh.
Ooh, wow. I didn't know. Yeah, wait.
Another
one.
We're in a room full of cancers.
I need to ask another question, but after that, go ahead.
Okay, so you've got Mars, which is about action, mojo, okay, motivation.
Mm-hmm.
It can be about sex as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, why'd you have to spell it?
You mean sex?
What is that?
Yeah, just say sex.
Sometimes there's some words you just spell rather than say.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't got children.
And then it's in the sign of Aquarius, so it's a little bit off kilter when it's with that sign. Aquarius is all about humanity, like technology as well. Aquarius can want to save the world or find a new piece of technology that will save the world and bring people together. Or it could just be technology, new communication. And the 5 is about change and creativity. Things moving. If it's very creative, that is the creative number, is number 5. I know you're creative. But what was your question? So I can try and piece it together for you.
It's just that I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to start to work on, and I was just confused on where to start. So that was really my question.
Has it got to do with technology or?
I don't think so.
So you're confused to know where to start with it?
Yeah.
So what out of that resonates with you? And what do you need a bit more clarity on? So this is really just saying
I'm trying to find
that's
balance.
the project,
So that's it. Yeah, maybe that's the project.
That's the project. Yeah. Do you wanna?
Well, the other one was sex, so you know it could be about balancing work and life. Okay.
You can ask another question about how do I find balance.
No, does that not make sense to you though?
Yeah, it does. You do make sense. It does.
You know what I mean? I mean, because like, you know, all the time, our working life and our home life, we usually tend to keep separate, or they tend to kind of like implode onto one another. So that's what I just was trying to say, that it could be about that, not just the lascivious side of sex, but about like how your work or your want to do work. Because as a writer, you're a writer. You know, that's where again the technology comes into play. It's the fact that you know, how do you balance the two, work and home?
Okay. Thanks, team.
Okay.
So that, I mean, how was that for you, Aaron? See, look at
Yeah.
that. I should be doing what sounds like.
Oh, if you got something from that, great.
It'll reveal itself through the session, and I'll come to it. Yeah.
That it will. And everything. So, so first of all, John, welcome to Love Language, because you're usually hosting your own show, speaking with people who, I'm gonna say, who are like on a ethereal, right?
Yeah.
You know, and like, but so this is kind of like bringing it into human connection. And so, really, you know, even though your company or project is called Spiritual Connection, I just thought that it would be interesting to have you on the show.
It is interesting, yeah. Go on, what do you want to know?
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared to know. I'm scared to ask you any questions.
Is it me to ask the question? Do I do that?
You can if you want, yeah.
See, John knows love to experiment.
I love to experiment. I really do like to experiment with things. And one of the things that's happened with the train is we've experimented with so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Well,
I don't know. Ooh.
what is it?
It's up to you, babe.
All I know is I see a cancer in there.
So, okay, so Scorpio, number one.
That's a sting in the tail.
So new beginnings.
Yep.
Scorpio can be about the occult. That's what you were talking about before, wasn't it? And
Witches.
yeah, that is. Let me just check. That is Venus. So love.
Or women.
In Scorpio, with Scorpio, which can either maybe be a Scorpio woman coming into your life. What was the question, by the way?
What question?
Did you ask one or
I did
you
ask
just-
the question, yeah.
Okay. So
Basically, the question was quite simple.
yeah,
Do you want to know?
yeah.
What's going to happen next?
Oh, I wonder if I love someone's coming into your life.
That'd be nice,
Mm.
but there are two things
Yeah.
on that for me.
Mhm.
Because that was really interesting what got thrown there.
Mhm.
And the new beginnings,
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Uh-huh.
What's Scorpio?
It can rule the occult. It can rule all things hidden.
Ooh.
Mm.
And what was the third one there?
Venus.
And what's
So
Venus is love.
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking earlier
Mhm.
about it's not just love doesn't just have to be about love for another.
Mhm.
It can be about love for yourself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just about learning about love for yourself. New beginnings. Let's get a new start. I've been doing some experiments with exactly that. Learning to love yourself from what you do.
Right. Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
And it's a new beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's quite interesting, actually.
Yeah.
What I like about a new beginning for you is that, you know, age is not really as much of a wall as many people think it is.
Listen to him, he's having a go.
No, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying it's never too.
to me.
I'm just saying it's never too.
Listen, no, you're absolutely right.
It's never too
No,
late.
you're
It's never
absolutely
to
right.
think about yourself
Absolutely
at
right.
the end of the
No.
finish line.
No,
Just
Well,
because you
he's
get
not
to.
90, you know.
Not
Well,
quite.
he's pretty old.
I'm coming up that way, you know.
Right.
I'm well past retirement age, put it like that.
Yeah.
When most people should be sort of putting their feet up and going,
Exactly.
I'm going to go and play golf this afternoon.
But you are
But no.
doing new beginnings, and
Absolutely.
you always are out there exploring
Yep.
different opportunities and
Yep.
stuff. So
And
that's what I was trying to.
it's
acknowledge.
fun. It's fun. If you can't do
Never
something,
stop.
it's fun.
So
Yeah.
Venus and Scorpio is like really deep, like probably maybe a bit obsessive or something like that.
Me, obsessive.
No, I mean, but you know, I don't know. It can mean like that you're really hell bent on a project. This new
Absolutely.
beginning that you've got.
Yep.
It can just mean that really.
Absolutely. This whole thing about doing the train
Hmm.
was all about investigating and looking at things and
Being
finding the
curious.
truth, and the science behind things.
Well, that's Scorpio finding the truth, like the psychic detective or the detective, yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what it's all about.
That's interesting. You see, it takes some time. I think I actually found out, like, meditating upon what it said. I think I just found what my answer was.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Good.
Will you share or you can keep it to yourself?
You know that you know the blog that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was off of it for a while, and I think that's the answer. Because the blog I did was about food and sex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's a creative thing that I did online, and I paused it for a while. DoubleDarkRumAfterMidnight.com.
After midnight, lovely.
So I think, and I've been writing down on my lists almost every day. Redo the website, redo it, and I think it's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a name like that, definitely time.
Definitely has some sexual implications and stuff like that.
It's not,
I want to go.
You know, I didn't, but I do now.
I think that's.
I like it how like John had a little feeling when he had rubbed these
I
dice.
did actually.
And
It was funny when I was doing it. It was
What's
like
your feeling
like
on
a
the
little,
dice?
like a little jolt.
Oh,
Really?
that'd be a
I
fight.
charged it for
I
you.
was going to say this off. That's why I looked at him. I thought, hang on a minute.
Right. Should I be scared?
No, sweetie, it's up to you.
Well, you know, I've never done this
Think
before,
of
actually.
something like a question or something you need some clarity on.
Okay. Now I'm scared. All right.
Okay, so Venus.
Okay.
She's coming up a lot, isn't she?
I know. What's up, that
Leo.
Venus girl? What is that?
Leo.
Leo.
And number 6 is about friendships, I think, coming together with people. Family, friendships, bringing people in. Venus. And just let me check that's Leo, yeah. And Leo is about the heart. Leo is like, it can be courage, it can be being seen, like here I am, wants to be centre stage, but can also be really like big heart. So
Are you just
especially
making that up because you know me?
No. Especially with Venus being there, with Leo wants to be like loved, like adored.
Oh, well, that's obvious. Yeah, we know that.
Like, adored. Yeah.
Adored.
And so number 6, it's about like friendships, like I say, bringing people in, lots of communication and fun and laughter and things. What was your question?
I mean, like,
Do you want to share that or not?
Sure.
No, I mean, obviously, you know, my question was like, am I walking down the right road?
Well, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, you know, I'm putting a lot of trust into the universe and the cosmic, you know, way of thing. I kind of like, I don't try to be as controlling as it may appear. You know, I like to
Really?
Shut up, Josh. I'm saying, I like to let things happen and unfold. And, you know, and I mean, I ask for help from the universe, which is kind of like what I think that I'm experiencing right now. So, you know, that's pretty interesting that, you know, because it takes courage, definitely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, that could mean about anything, you know, your work, your relationship, your life, where you live. And I guess it's saying that you need to have this in your life, you need to love it wholeheartedly. Like there's no other option. It needs to bring in that vibe, that connection, that community, that friendship, that laughter vibe where you can, I suppose, show this Leo heart and let that flourish in that environment.
Yeah, I mean, because I've often said, I mean, I know the secret is like, you know, this new relationship is built upon laughter, you know, because, you know, I mean, I don't laugh enough, you know. I mean, I think people see that mask side of me, like, as a happy, laughing kind of person. But then in this new relationship, I actually was laughing, like, uncontrollably
Yeah.
to the point where I felt like, damn, man, where was this?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where was
yeah,
this?
yeah.
And you never know what you're missing until it actually
That's
shows up in
right.
front of your face, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I think that is to me like the heart of everything there. You know, so that's beautiful. I mean, you know, it's kind of like it's interesting these things because it is an interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
But-
just your subconscious mind. That's how I see it. It's just a symbol. It's just a symbol, and it's just a reflection of what you already know.
Yeah.
But we don't trust ourselves.
Can I just ask a question then?
Yeah.
Are you saying here that what that's actually doing, it's you could interpret it actually whichever way you want, really, but if you are being positive about things and positive about your energy,
Yeah.
you are going to receive things which are positive and positive about your energy. If you're going to go,
Suppose.
I can't do that,
Yeah.
and being
Yeah.
negative and oh woe is me, then that's what you're going to get.
Isn't that, isn't
Yeah,
that the
I
case,
would
isn't it?
say that might be the case. I don't know, but the way I like interpret things like this and the tarot and things like that, it just reflects your what's already in your subconscious. I know, like Carl Jung, you know, the famous
Carl Jung.
psychologist, he did the tarot, astrology. You know, he was all about symbols and archetypes.
He was also a coke addict.
Hey, dude, he was a dreamologist. He was a
I'm
dreamologist.
sure all the greats
Get to
have
the-
their vices.
Oh
right.
yeah, man, I'm pretty
Can I
sure
go back to
Einstein was toting. You know what I mean? But no, Carl Jung was just, I mean, the interpretations of dreams and everything.
Actually,
I mean,
it's-
I when I took psychology, I studied Carl Jung. It's just amazing stuff.
It wasn't Carl Jung, actually, it was Freud, but that's beside the point.
No, they were enemies. And
Now, Freud was a cokehead.
you start see, look at anyway.
So I heard something about him. That
Yeah, he was
all
naughty.
his work,
Which one? Freud.
Freud.
Yeah, okay.
that everything, his kind of philosophy or his theory or whatever, was actually not based on fact. Where everybody thought, I can't remember. I don't know what his theory was now. It wasn't Gestalt.
It was
it?
always your mother.
No,
The
Freud
problem was always your mother.
Well,
Tell me about your
written all
mother.
this work, but actually, it wasn't based on fact. Like clients, it was based on what he thought would happen, and there's a book out about it now or something. I don't know.
Jung was believed in spiritualism, and his sister or a relative, and I think it was his sister, was actually a medium,
Right.
All right.
and he actually consulted.
Yeah. Oh, Edgar Casey. Have you heard of Edgar
Edgar
Casey?
Casey, yeah,
The
yeah.
Sleeping Prophet. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
It's
they
the same-
need to make a movie about those two, Freud and Jung, though, and everything.
Well,
'cause
Freud was a very factual person, and looked at things in a very factual way, and was quite.
Are you saying factual or fractual?
Factual.
Yes.
Whereas Jung was a much more esoteric type
Yes.
person, and although they were, I mean, it was Jung who studied under Freud, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then went off on his own, but it was Freud. I'll keep going back to this, and I'm sorry, but it was Freud who actually introduced one of his dentists to the use of cocaine as a
Right.
A way of opening the mind.
anesthetized. No. Well, it probably did, but as an anaesthetic.
Yeah.
But he also used to experiment on himself with it.
Mm.
I experimented myself with a lot of things.
Okay. So
Well,
anyway,
I had heard, but
anyway, back to the topic before the show's
Sorry.
over. Yeah. So Anne-Marie, you were telling us about these upcoming eclipse, but tell us about the last one first.
Okay, so we've got a lunar eclipse happening in Capricorn
Somebody mentioned it.
next week. I don't know what's going to happen to me.
Why are you saying you?
Well, because
it's
what happened
like
last time.
happening like right on my sun, which is like me, my identity, me as a person.
Right
It's
on your
happening
sun?
Right on it, yeah. So
Alright,
with
let's
some
watch
other
the
stuff
language
as
here.
well. I know, yeah.
It's happening right on my hot spot.
So if we say, but going back to what we were talking about just a minute ago, leave her alone. Then if you have a positive attitude towards that, you mentioned the
Yeah.
the unconscious. If you have a positive attitude on that, is it going to affect it or will it just happen anyway?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen anyway, and not to like, because like you say, it's all about interpretation, isn't it? And no one really knows
An intent.
what's going to happen. You know, so many different things.
So how do these things and why do these things affect us?
Well, I don't know why they affect us, but apparently you saw a documentary, Brian Cox, says about the magnetic energy and stuff. Lunar energy, the magnetic pull of the moon on the tides and all that kind of stuff.
It's got to work,
Yeah. So
There's got to be something to it.
Something.
Yeah.
Science is beginning to prove things more and more now. And I think
prove things more and more on a spiritual level, or prove things more and more on...
Well, what they call it spiritual now, they've made it sound like it...
Because it's scientific, it's no longer spiritual?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they'll talk about physics though, won't they?
Yeah,
they won't talk
but mathematics is actually equation of, a universal equation.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
I mean, like, obviously, there's something to it that, whoever started the whole Zodiac phenomenon and everything, there has to be something to it that is based in mathematics.
I think, like, when you look into astrology, you go back all, like, years ago, and, the farmers and whoever would use the stars, use nature as their navigation system, if you like.
The calendar.
Yeah. So they would be so much more in tune to the natural forces.
And you leave your seeds out in the sunlight, in
Yeah.
the moonlight, and then you plant them at a particular, when the moon is in a particular phase, and it helps with the growth.
Yeah.
And it's all to do, if you look at the, as you just said, the moon affects the tides, so it's going to affect a lot of other things, surely.
But if you think, strip back technology and strip back where we are today, and we went back to those ancient times, that's the only thing they've got to rely on, is their senses and their connection to nature. They didn't have technology, did they? So what were they going to do? They were going to tune into their basics, and their basics was what they had.
I have a question. We have two spiritual... I'm
just a train
to
driver.
find
I'm
the
just a
word.
train driver, that's all.
I'm trying to find the word that I want to use. Okay,
Connector.
so you all focus strongly on the Zodiac and the stars and the moon, and all the planets. My question is, how relevant is this? Because last year NASA came out and said how all of the Zodiac signs have shifted.
Okay.
Do you all still use the old signs, or do you all use the new ones?
Do you know what they meant by shift?
Well, Cancer, like for example, the dates.
The nodes.
Yeah, they have shifted.
Yeah. It just means that they've. If I'm writing what I'm on the same lines as you, Cancer and Capricorn. Have nodes. Each planet has a node, and I think it's like a little apex. I'm not sure, but each planet has a node, and that will have shifted. And that's what this lunar eclipse is happening next week.
No. What I mean is that they came up with a story saying, for Capricorn the dates have changed. These would be the new dates.
Oh,
for Sagittarius,
they thought they found another planet or something.
It wasn't dealing with the planet.
Nibiru, the 10th planet.
Yeah, I'm sure they thought they found another planet, and there was now going to be 13 instead of 12 or something like that.
13 instead of 12? You mean like 9 instead of 10?
I don't know, I can't remember, but it might have been that. I remember reading that. There was an extra sign or something.
Wow.
I'm not sure. I think I heard about the extra planet. But what I really focus on, because me and some of the friends were talking, we grew up as Cancers all our lives, and now we are something else.
I was the same.
Because
you're telling me I'm not
exactly.
this. It was
I guess it's how the world rotates, or how the solar system is.
Okay.
That the dates that the planets are in phase has changed.
Okay, yeah.
Hang on a second.
That is wild.
The dates the planets has changed. Okay, the phases have changed.
Yeah.
However, that won't make any difference at all to how the planets were when you were born.
Okay, no.
And therefore, the influence on you when you were born will be no different.
Yeah, it'd just be the transits.
Yeah.
It's all about the birthday.
So it says that, right? So, for example, Cancer now is July 20th to August something.
Oh, hell no.
So that's so what I was saying is that has your zodiac changed with the new constellation, like the constellations are different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think so when we look at a zodiac sign now in the papers or wherever we check it now,
Yeah, okay.
is it the same? Do they use a new planet?
Do you actually
This is
read
crazy.
the stuff that comes up in the papers?
Well, I'm not
No,
Look at it
wait,
and
wait,
go,
wait, wait, wait,
"Is this gonna influence
Hold on,
me
hold on.
today?"
You know what? I don't know why you brought this up in the end, because this is really fascinating, because it's like that whole thing about the Gregorian calendar and everything else like that, you know, is that at one point everybody believed that there was only this amount of, like, you know, days in a year, and, you know, and I forgot, you know, it's a great joke about how it all changed. But now what you're talking about, the change is starting to happen, where, what, the newspapers are picking up on this?
No, I'm not talking about
Okay, fine. But what I'm just trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is, you're talking about change, and on a big scale. But these changes happened, you know, all the way back to when everybody believed the world was flat. I'm just trying to say. But, you know, either
The
way.
world is flat, isn't it? I thought that was something.
Anyway, don't get me started. But the point is,
just read a few lines.
go ahead.
The dates of the Western zodiac calendar have changed. It turns out have shifted. Starting later, and it's a lot later. If you are a Capricorn born in early to mid-January, you're now Sagittarius. Cancer's born early to mid-July. Stop being such emotional crybabies because you're now actually.
Sorry, I can't.
First of all, that's negative.
No.
No, I'm just saying.
No.
All I am saying is that, and also in this article it talks about there's a new 13th astrological symbol.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we talk about that, but they're also saying that the zodiac has shifted. So all I'm saying is I just look into it.
First of all, send me a link. Wait. Send me a link to that.
I'll definitely send
But
you.
like, that is fascinating.
From,
It is interesting.
yeah.
So
But-
is it because of that 13th
Yeah.
sign they've shifted? Because that's when I thought, okay, I'm not a fucking Capricorn anymore.
Yeah.
No, I'm always going to be Cancer, but I think
Yeah,
so.
because-
You got a
because-
13th sign
and
and a
that's
10th
it.
planet, and
Because
you know,
I always want to be Cancer too. I think we have the coolest
or a 9th
symbol,
planet technically.
you know?
But you
Is
know,
that why
Technically-
you like Cancer? Because of the
Oh
symbol?
my God! When
See,
people see
you see
69
how,
on
see how
your
confused? Oh yeah. You
When
just
people
like
see
the
69,
69, don't you?
What else you gotta
Well, I've got a bull with horns, so there you go.
Anyway, listen, guys, we're running on time. I just wanted to you just talk about this lunar thing coming up before we go, because
Okay.
that was the whole point.
so the lunar thing is happening in Capricorn, and it's happening in Capricorn and Cancer all year and next year. So basically, what it's saying is the North Node, which I just said about, is in Cancer. That's where we should be focusing. And Cancer, it depends where it is on your chart, but in general, Cancer, we know, is all about nurture, self-care, compassion, empathy for others, intuition, nurturing and stuff. And Capricorn is the grafter, the one who has goals, the goat that climbs to the top of the mountain, weathers all the storms, or blah 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 blah. Can obviously probably be a little bit ruthless and stuff. So there's loads of things happening in that. So let's just say Cancer's here, the North Node, and they call it like the dragon. So Cancer North Node is the mouth of the dragon.
Wow.
And Capricorn is the tail of the dragon. Okay, so the mouth of the dragon is like what's coming in and like what should be like focusing on and eating and stuff. And then the tail of the dragon is all the shit that's coming out the other end and releasing. So we've also got Pluto and Saturn, which is going to sit next to the moon on the 16th. So Pluto is about death, rebirth, transformation, finding the truth. Saturn is about law, order, Capricorn, the devil, law, order, time, structure, could even be world structures as well.
Wow.
And the moon is all about your feelings, your deeper feelings and stuff. So they're all going to be sat next to each other right on my sun.
Right on your sun.
Right on my sun.
Oh man. You know what?
Stop thinking about that image right now, because I know you're changing the sun for something else.
No, I was just going to say I love you.
So anyway, that's what we're releasing. So next week, it's all about emotional release, what we need to get rid of.
Oh, see, there's the topic. But I mean, that is fascinating. I'm going to actually rewatch this show because I love the topic that came up in it. Yeah, waited too late
Just
for that
read
one, bro.
this bit again?
Oh,
Yeah.
you got some more? Come on, man.
More,
Time is on the run, man.
Come on. We didn't know the topic. This is Freestyle Friday.
Freestyle Friday.
This is a new show, guys.
My
It's going to be
show.
called Freestyle
We
Friday.
need to change the name of the show. I never know what to
Okay,
talk about.
Just
Freebie.
a sentence. NASA also pointed out that the Earth's axis doesn't point in the same direction as it did when the original constellations were drawn. So all our signs have different date ranges now.
Doesn't stop
I hate that,
planets
though.
having an influence on you
So
personally.
what's your birthday?
June 29th, man.
June 29th.
I'm staying to Cancer. I don't care.
June 29th. June 29th. Okay. I think you're
Am I still? I'm still in there?
Yeah, no, sorry, you're Gemini. June 29th.
No, hell no. I'm
Guys,
no
you
double
are
blind.
missing the point.
What's
I'm
your
Aries. It doesn't,
what's your birthday?
26th of March.
26th.
It doesn't matter. You are missing the point. The planets will influence you wherever they are, whatever you call them, whatever constellation or whatever they're in. It doesn't matter.
It's funny because none of the big astrology software people have changed it based
Nope.
on that.
Well, not yet, probably.
Well, there's lots of different ways you can, and they don't just look at the sun sign. That's not really. It's one of the things, but it's like the moon and the ascendant and things like that. They look at that, but
Pisces.
oh, that's nice. I don't think.
I don't care.
I'm
And
14th of
you're
Jan.
I don't care.
14th of
What's
January.
What's Pisces?
Pisces look great.
You're Sagittarius.
Pisces is double negative.
See, I know.
I'll share you all this link.
Okay, man.
Yeah,
Or
please
the
do, and then-
2016 article from today.
What I'll
So
do
what are you
what I'll
doing?
do is like when this show airs on
Are you still
Sunday.
the same?
Huh?
The show will be
No.
airing on Sunday, and what I'll do is I'll put the link
will,
you
yes.
share
Definitely.
in there.
What a good idea. And I think I really ought to invite you all to come on the train at some point. To talk about this. I really do.
Anyway, time's out.
That's what
Time's out. We're already over time. So, Henry, thank you once again. I love it. I love it when like you come up with these things and and how you present them. This is amazing. Addae, fantastic article. John, thank you for joining us here on Love Language.
I've enjoyed this. It's been great.
It's been excellent. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
The show will be coming on Sunday at 3. And thank you very much. We out.